Hello, thank you very much for your interest in the QIC app. Over the past 5 years, ESGE has developed different quality indicators for all fields in endoscopy, and now it's time to implement and disseminate them. And it's really time for you to start measuring the quality of your endoscopy unit. And there are different solutions depending on where you are. So if you're using an electronic reporting system that automatically extracts all the quality indicators, well, you may not want to use the app as such. However, if you're using electronic reporting systems without automated extraction of the quality indicators, or if you use free text entry or paper reports, in that case, the app can definitely help you to assess quality. Application is very, very simple. You just go to the website of ESGE for the Quality Check app, and by 2 clicks, you can apply to use it. So you simply hit the register button, and then you enter the hospital name, and you select your 4-month period during which you want to assess the quality in your endoscopy unit. And after hitting the submit button, everything is done. And 1 week prior to your 4-month period, you will get an email with the credentials. So if you have further questions, just refer to the email quality@esge.com. It is very important to realize that you do not need to enter all your procedures. So increasing the number from 100 to 300 only narrows down the confidence interval statistically slightly. So you do not have to measure everything at all. So probably 100 procedures are enough to assess a quality indicator. So 200 to 300 gastro and colonoscopies will be enough to get a good snapshot of your quality in your service. Remember, this is not a prospective registration app. You need to also add histology to some of the quality indicators. So select 100 to 300 consecutive endoscopy reports from a time window in the past without selecting the indication. And we have developed a flowchart in such a way that you get the right questions for the right indication for the right procedure. And you will get immediate feedback during data entry. That is important to know that at this time we only have upper and lower GI ready, but the rest will follow in 2021 very soon, so you can audit your entire unit. Remember, you can only use it for 4 months in a row, so plan your audit. And this is to accommodate as many people as possible, but you need to engage yourself to upload 100 colos and gastroscopies in that time. All data are protected. There's no patient data that are kept. We only record who's uploading, so we can develop a benchmark for the quality indicators, and we also will adjust the performance measures in the future based on the output of this system, and we also evaluate the applicability. From your side, you'll get an immediate feedback on your quality in your service, and if it's ready, we can evaluate it against the benchmark. So now get ready to start. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Miguel Areira and Marek Bujgajski, who will show you how to use the upper and lower GI QIC app.
Dear friends, my name is Miguel Areia and I'm a gastroenterologist from Coimbra, Portugal. And on behalf of the ESGE, I would like to welcome you to this brief presentation where we would like to show you how to use the upper GI Quality Monitoring app. In summary, I will show you how to use it, how to apply for the app, how long it will be active after registration, and how the data will be used for. So, how to use the app? So, let us upload our first case. So, after doing your login on the app, you will see the upper GI program and the lower GI program. You just click on the upper GI. We want to add a new case. Yes. Was the duration recorded? Yes. How long does it take the endoscopy? So we took 10 minutes for this endoscopy. So, and afterwards it will show you immediately your performance measure for that specific recording of the duration. So this will be a Barrett's patient, a surveillance. So it's a Barrett's. So we need to put the age of the patient, let's say 65 years. Was there any contraindication for biopsies? No. What was the indication for the endoscopy? So in this case it was a known Barrett's, came for surveillance. Barrett's surveillance. How long did the patient fast for liquids? In this case it was more than 6 hours. And the same for solids. Again, your current key performance measure regarding fasting. Could the procedure be completed? Yes. What was the prior classification? So we used it, and we will call it was a C4 M5, and then it will ask about esophagitis. So there was no esophagitis. Was there any visible lesion? Let's say it was with no visible lesion. So again, your current performance measure regarding the standardized terminology. Photo documentation. Were pictures taken? Yes, we took pictures. Was there any abnormal findings? No, so it's not applicable. And regarding photo documentation, you can tick all the boxes that we saw. So in this case, we did a full endoscopy and then we inspected the Barrett's, but there was no abnormal findings, so we leave this blank. Again, our current standard for photo documentation. So we measured the inspection time for Barrett's. Yes, we did. So it was a C4 M5 and we took 5 minutes just for inspection of the Barrett's. So again, our performance measure, not so good in this one. Was the Seattle protocol used for biopsies? Yes. Again, our current performance measures. And finally, did the patient was entered in a Barrett's registry? Yes, it was. Again, your standards. And we finished. So you will see Care Monitor completed with success. And you see that you only see the lower and you should be able to see the upper GI. Sometimes you need some seconds. Sometimes you should refresh the page so it can again. So now I will upload a second case. So you see again the upper GI app. You click next. And now the first thing you see is your current performance measures. All the 11 that we have for upper GI, which one stands for, and the current standards that you have. Next. So we want to add a new case. Yes. Was the duration recorded? Yes. How long it took? 10 to 15 minutes again. And after finishing each question regarding a performance measure, you will see the immediate feedback result. What was the indication? Let's call it another diagnostic gastroscopy. Next. The patient fasted for liquids more than 6 hours. And again more than 6 hours for solids. Proper instructions. Could the procedure be completed? Yes. Previous gastroscopy in the last 3 years? No. Was there any contraindication for biopsies? No. And now it will say what was the indication. So you have several. Let's call it other. In this case, minutes for duration. And now, did you find any specific findings? Let's see, they say that we saw some gastritis or atrophy. We took biopsies according to the Meplis guidelines. Yes. So correct biopsy for intestinal metaplasia. Did we take pictures? Yes. Pictures were taken. Abnormal findings? No. Again, no abnormal findings. And again, we did a full endoscopy, taking at least 10 pictures, but without any abnormal finding. So again, photo documentation, and we are done. So again, Care Monitor completed with success, and you will have to wait some seconds for the upper GI to appear, otherwise you should click the refresh button. And now a third and final case, for instance an ESG procedure. So you click on the upper GI app, next, you start again with all your current standards in your performance measures, a new case, yes, duration recorded, yes, we took more than 15 minutes for this therapeutic procedure, next, the indication was a therapeutic procedure, next, Again, fasting for more than 6 hours. For liquids, more than 6 hours. For solids, next, the procedure was completed. Yes. What was the therapeutic procedure? So you have several, and we will choose EST. Regarding the immediate complications documented, so we stated in the report no complications, so we tick this one, and it will ask about if the patient was contacted after the procedure for complications, and the patient was contacted after 2 weeks. Next, and we are done. So a much quicker one. So just a few tips on the cases. Please remember to input cases only retrospectively. For this upper GI app, in all therapeutic procedures, you will be asked about contacting the patient regarding complications. Also, for the lower GI app, you will require the histopathology report. Finally, after finishing a case, please refresh the web page. It may be needed to start a new case after just a few seconds. So, how to apply to use the app? You can apply in 2 ways. Through the ESGE website, where on the Quality Improvement Committee webpage, you can find a section on the app. You can also use the link provided here. Also, through your ESGE membership dashboard, available after logging to your ESGE members account, then you will receive your login and instructions by email a week before the selected 4 months active period for the app. You can also ask questions by the email quality@esge.com. How long can you use the app after registration? The app will be active for 4 months, allowing to accommodate as many people as possible and to engage yourself and colleagues. You can upload as many cases as you want, but keep in mind that at least 100 cases are needed to create a good representation of your practice, while up to 300 cases should be enough. You can also share the login access among other colleagues in your unit if you want to access the whole service quality instead of just yourself. What the data will be used for. All data is anonymized regarding patients. ESGE and the app will only keep a record of the uploading person of each case. How will ESGE use the anonymized data? ESGE will create a benchmark to see the true picture of quality, allowing to adjust performance measures and standards in the future, and also to evaluate its applicability. And regarding your own use of the data, you will have an immediate feedback regarding your own or your department's quality, depending on the uploading of cases that you have decided. So, join us. Thank you in advance for your time, and I wish you a pleasant experience with the app.
Welcome. We would like to show you how to use Lower GI Quality Monitoring app. In summary, I will talk about how to apply for the app, how to use it, how long it will be active, and how to proceed at this time frame, as well as how the data will be used. So how do you use the app? It is quite simple. We'll go through one case just to show you how quick is the whole process. So this is the beginning of the Lower GI app. This is in testing still, but you will see only one choice for you. I open it. I want to add a new case. It was not an emergency procedure. It was a screening for colorectal cancer. Now the first calculation for performance measure is already done. It bases on all the colonoscopies that you've already used. The scale with which we assess the bowel preparation was Boston Bowel Preparation Scale. However, the patient did not have all segments of the bowel, so I can choose that he was missing an ascending colon, and I use the scores for remaining segments. And the patient had adequate preparation. Was the colonoscopy complete? Was the photo taken of the cecum? And the calculation happens immediately. A polyp was detected. The patient was aged 50 or older, and it was an adenoma. This performance measure will be calculated after 30 colonoscopies. The polyp was removed, and now the app asks us about the largest polyp that we removed. So it was a 1S, for example, and 2A. We can combine, but the lesion was not an LST, and we use Paris classification properly. The polyp was at least 2 centimeters, and we removed it through EMR, but we did not do a tattoo, so this has failed. The polyp was of course retrieved for histopathology assessments, and there was no immediate complication. The patient was not hospitalized in 7 days after colonoscopy, and the patient did not die in 30 days after colonoscopy. We know that because we had patient feedback in both cases. Patient experience was measured. We used GRS. And the patient received a written surveillance recommendation, and there was no deviation. And this is the whole case finished. So to conclude, just a few tips on the cases. Please remember to input only cases after histopathology assessment, so only retrospective cases. Also keep in mind that if there is no indication for a colonoscopy, the questions will be asked as if it was a screening procedure. Remember that some PMs will be calculated after 30 procedures, mainly adenoma detection rate. Finally, sometimes you may need to refresh web page in order to start a new case. So how to apply to use the app? You can apply in 2 ways. Either through ESGE website on Quality Improvement Committee webpage, you can find section on the app. Or you can access it through ESGE membership dashboard, which is available after login to an ESGE member account. You will receive login and instructions via email a week before selected active period for the app. You can also ask questions by email as shown on the slide. How long the app will be active? It will be active for 4 months. You can upload as many cases as you want, but keep in mind that at least 100 cases are needed to create a good representation of your practice. You can also share the access among other colleagues in your unit if you want to assess the whole service quality. What the data will be used for? All the data will be anonymized patient-wise. Each record will be assigned to uploading person account only. How will ESGE use the anonymized data? We'll create a benchmark to see the true picture of quality. It will allow for adjusting performance measures and standards. We will also be able to see whether the proposed PMs are useful in daily practice. How can you use the data personally? You will have more or less immediate feedback regarding your department's quality. Thank you, and I wish you pleasant experience with the app.